My name is Peter Savage, and I am demonstrating the excerpt from Haydn Symphony 95, Movement 2, at the very end of the movement. The most important thing to remember about Haydn and Mozart, they're both classical era composers, which means that their style is very light. Whenever you see a forte in the music, always think of that as a mezzo forte. Every dynamic you see is essentially a dynamic below. So yes, give a nice, rich, full sound whenever you play, but don't play too heavy. Don't quite showcase what our great and glorious instrument can do. Really leave that to the Beethoven or Mahler or such. But here is with Haydn and Mozart, it's a very delicate and controlled expression of music in the classical style. One thing that immediately catches my eye, or ear rather, with this excerpt, is to be mindful about the moving notes that are played in the rest of the orchestra. The very best thing that you can do practicing this excerpt, and after you learn the notes and such, you pull up a recording on YouTube. There's a recording where you can find, it's just a regular recording, the symphony is about 21 minutes long, and there's a score right along with it, so you can see all of the musical parts, and you can follow your part, and then you can see everyone else's. And what you'll see here is that the winds share our part, or at least the majority of our part. And the upper strings have running 30-second notes. So as we're playing, the violins are going, and so when you really add our part, the bass part, to that part, you get a very well-timed subdivision. And it's extremely important to really keep everyone in time. So when you're listening to the violins really in rehearsal, really listen to that subdivision. It's really easy to run at this part sometimes. It's easy to get faster. But if you always have that subdivision from the violins, those 30-second notes, then you'll always know exactly where to put your note. This next part, where we have the grace note, so this part, that octave E flat, from the low E flat to the upper E flat, that's a bit tricky, it's a little scary, but the easiest way to hit that E flat is knowing where your thumb is. So at the base of the neck, we call the saddle. If you know where your thumb is and you find the note, you get it in tune, and you remember exactly where your thumb is, and you'll hit that note. And really think about again the lightness of this grace note right here, leading to the E flat. A little bit lighter, with that dot on top of the A natural. It doesn't need to be super short, just nice and like that. For this next part of these 30 seconds, I like to do this up bow. You could do that double up, or either way's fine. And you might do this in the orchestra. Might be a slight slowdown right there, right before I, so really keep an eye out for that. And then the next part of the dynamics. So the whole excerpt up until this point has been forte. So, in the classical sense with Haydn and Mozart, you can be loud, you can be very present. But then when the piano comes around, really back off and really show the dynamic range. That's extremely impressive, to show a nice dynamic range and contrast. And the diminuendo here. make sure you give yourself enough room to decrescendo. Right there. So, with all that, let's try it one more time.